Ellie here from the Dark Imp, helping parents reclaim family time by playing board games together. Now, summer holidays are just round the corner, and it's a good time to pick up some of the heavier, weightier board games that need a little bit more time to learn and to play. So, let's start with Terraforming Mars. This is one of my favourite games. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, a word of warning, you do need to set aside some time to learn it. It's a heavy box, it has lots of components, and it's not straightforward. But I've been playing this game for the last 18 months or so with my children. The youngest is 12, so he started playing when he was about 10, and that's fine actually. He's learned reasonably well, reasonably quickly, and now plays just the same as as the rest of us. Terraforming Mars, guess what it's about? Terraforming Mars. So you are playing corporations trying to make the planet Mars habitable for our growing population. So you are trying to control and improve various global parameters. You're trying to make more ocean, you're trying to raise the temperature, and you're trying to increase the oxygen on the planet. Now, you get points in loads of different ways, and each player has different powers. So all of the different corporations have different powers. So you might have an advantage that another player doesn't, which might show you which way you're going to lean in the game. So let me give you some examples. Right, so this is an expansion to Terraforming Mars, which is really good. It comes as a separate box. You don't need it to play, but it's excellent. It actually shortens the game slightly and gives people some extra stuff to start with. That's the Prelude expansion. So this is the main board. It's Mars. It's got hexagons. You're going to place cities and forests around the cities on the board, and ocean tiles. And you're going to claim points by placing these cities and these greenery around the ocean. Whenever you place greenery, the oxygen level goes up. Whenever you place ocean, you raise that global parameter as well. In addition to this, each player has their own player board. Now, ours are in special holders, which don't come with the set. They actually come with quite flimsy player boards, and we invested in these extra things to hold them. It helps you measure your amount of money you have, steel, titanium, leaves or plants, energy and heat. And with these different you have a production of these things, and with these different resources you can do different things, and you get points in different ways. The main part of the game is the cards. So you can just see how many, I'm just dropping them now, stacks, and that's half of them, right? Stacks and stacks of different cards, and they all do different things. They each have a cost at the top. They might have a requirement, maybe it has to be a certain temperature before you can play this card. You have to pay the money and then you complete the actions. So this one allows, you have to reduce your energy by 4, your energy production by 4, but you get more plants. So depending on the sort of strategy you're playing, this might really help you. And they're all different. Some of them you can play each turn. These blue ones, they give you things, every time you do this, you get this. Other ones, you kind of sabotage other players. All sorts of, every single one is unique. So there's lots of different combinations of cards you're going to get. And because there's different combinations of cards, and because you have different corporations that you play, every single game is completely different. It's a joy to play. But you do need to set aside a couple of hours, and you definitely need to learn it first. Don't try and jump into this, open the box with the kids and try and read through the rule book and start like that. Don't do it. Look at some videos online, open up the components, read the rule book in bed before you introduce it to the children. But when you've learnt it, you can teach it to them, and you will love it. I mean, honestly, this will be the best thing about your summer. Terraforming Mars. Another weightier game, not as weighty, but almost, is Five Tribes. Five Tribes has a modular board. So the board is made up of these tiles. They're double-sided, but each side has the same on. It's the same on front and back. And you lay these tiles out in a 5x6 board. And then on each tile, you're going to place at random 3 meeples. So we've looked at meeples before. Here they are. There are 5 different colours of meeple, and you're going to place 3 on each tile. So, for example, they're random. So you might have 3 different colours, you might have 3 of the same, you might have a combination. And if you've played Mancala, this game is, the mechanism is sort of based on that. In Mancala, you take beans out of a little dip in a wooden tray, and you place 1 bean in each of the subsequent pots. And if you land on an empty space, you get to take that space. I think that's how you play Mancala. Anyway, the way you play Five Tribes is by choosing a square, one of the 30, taking all the meeples, and then placing them down one at a time on in a pathway in whatever direction you want, and landing up on another tile. Whichever colour you end up with as dropping on the final tile, you pick that up and any other of the same colour, and then you resolve the abilities of this colour meeple. So if you use blue, the blues are the builders. They get to they give you points for the number you've got and the number of blue tiles around them. So, for example, this is a blue tile. It has a blue number, well, blue background with a number on. The green ones give you resources, so you can collect. They're sort of, I think they're called merchants. You can collect different kinds of resources which you trade in for points. The red ones are assassins, which means that they can kill other meeples on the board or in front of other people. The white ones are elders. They give you 2 victory points each at the end of the game, but also you can use these to buy more powerful cards. So there are things called djinn cards, and they've all got special abilities. They're here somewhere. They're under the lovely school pad, I think. Here we are. So you'll need to use your white elders to buy those cards. And then there are yellow ones, and you get victory points for those, and you also get extra victory points if you have the most of these at the end of the game. Because the board is modular, the setup's completely different every time. There are so many choices about which tile you take from, which tile you end up on, which colour meeples you're taking, that you can have a completely different strategy from the people around you. And you can play a different game every time. It's completely different every time. We played a game of this recently, and it was so close. I won by 1 point. But we all thought we were winning. Each of us thought we were winning the game. So that's a lovely game. Highly recommend it. Five Tribes. This is quite a new game, Newton. It has lots of different ways of getting points. It's a heavier game. You need to learn it before you teach it. I'll put that there. This was signed. I got this signed because I got it at a convention. When you go to conventions, often the artists or the designers are there, and you can get them to sign the game box. In Newton, you each have your own individual board. It looks like this. And there are 2 things on this board. First of all, there's your bookcase, and you can place books on your bookshelf as you go through the game, and when you complete columns of books or rows of books, you're going to get different points. And that's one way of getting points. You have a set of cards that you start with, and then you build up your cards You build up your deck as you go through the game, and as you build up your deck and you play your actions, you place them here. So each turn, I think you get 5 actions. And so one of the ways of getting points is through the bookshelf. The cards will help you do that. Another way of getting points is by travelling around Europe and visiting the different places. Those give you extra bonus points. Another way of getting points is through the technology track. So you have these different apprentices that work for you, and you move them up these technology tracks, and you take you put various bonus tokens on here, and you take them when you reach them. And at the top, there's also a different track. This is sort of the financial track, so you're going to get more money, which will enable you to do more things and have a bit more control about the actions you take if you move along here. But there's always a choice. You always have to choose, well, which strategy am I going to go for? Am I going to be a generalist? Am I going to do a bit of everything? Or am I really going to specialise? Am I really going to try and fill up my bookcase? Am I really going to try and travel the world? And each time you do it, the different tokens that go on the board are placed in different places, so the setup is different each time. And the cards that come out, the cards you can take which give you extra actions, they're different each time. So you're having a different game. And so you can experiment with what's happening. So that's a lovely one. Newton. This is Coimbra. This came out in 2018. And I love it. I want to play it. I mean, whenever I just keep looking for opportunities to play it with people, because it's so I'm rubbish at it. I'm really bad at it. I need to get better. I mean, but I love all the different things you have to think about in it. So in Coimbra, again, you have choices. Let's see. Let's get it up the right way. There are various different tracks that you're trying to progress in. You get points if you are the first one in the track, the highest in the track at the end of the game in each track, and the points will be different each time. So the points that you get will be random. And so in one game you play, it might be the silver one that gives you, the grey one that gives you lots of points, and in the next game it might be the purple one. So that stops people always taking the same strategy. You get to travel around again, as similar to Newton. You'd have different things you can do, but the really interesting thing about this game is that it's a dice drafting game. So there are lots of dice, and they get rolled. Where are they? Here they are. So you have a number of dice, and they relate to those 4 different columns we've seen already in colours. And depending on how many people are playing the game, you roll the dice and they go in the different sections on the side of this board. And then, in turn, you take them. You choose which ones to take. No, sorry. You roll the dice and then you decide which ones you want to take. And that's off the board. And when you've chosen which ones you're taking, you put them in your own little coloured dice holder. So if I'm playing the turquoise colour and a green 4 was rolled, I would put it in this dice holder, which stops it moving about and holds it at a 4. And I keep 3 dice for myself, 3 different coloured dice, different numbers, and then I'm going to place them along the side of the map here in one of the different sections, which will allow me to access different cards and do different things. So you have to use the dice for the colours, but also for the numbers in 2 different phases of the game. It's mind-bending and brilliant, and one that you have to play lots of times to see the depth of. Again, a weighty game. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about weighty games, heavy games that require a bit of learning and a lot of playing, but will reward you massively for your time. So that is Coimbra. finally, Pandemic Legacy. Now there are 2 versions of Pandemic Legacy, they're totally different. This is season 1. A legacy game is a game that you play once and once only. Now that may sound like it's not a very good deal, but believe me that there are, because it's sort of run in campaigns, there is a lot of game in this box. In fact, there's 12 different seasons, there's 12 different months. It's played in months, so there are 12 different games, and you can play each one twice, up to twice. So you've probably got 24 hours of game in here, which I bet is more than you'll play a lot of other games that are on your shelf. And it's so worth it. It's such an experience. If you're at home this summer, invest in this game and just enjoy working through the months of the year. It's based on the classic game Pandemic, in which you're playing specialists that battle an epidemic going across the globe. So you're fighting infection. In the Legacy game, you change the board as you go through. You add stickers to the board. I can't really show you much because you can't put spoilers out about what's inside the box. It's not fair on people that are going to buy this. But you get stickers that you change the rules with, that you put into the rule book as you go through the game. You get stickers that you put onto the board. You get stickers that you put into your character sheets, so your characters change as they get wounded, or as they get special powers, or as they form relationships with each other. Then there are, I probably can show you, I won't show you the board, but you can see there are all of these things which say top secret. And when you get to a certain point in the deck of cards, it will say now you can open window I or something. And some of these, as you can see, give you special clearance to open packages. So there are loads of these. There are lots and lots of these different sheets of stickers. And some give you clearance to open special packages, which are at the bottom of the box. So you can see we haven't got all the way through the game yet, but we're loving it. Absolutely loving it. So, you'll only play it once, but you'll have a fabulous time, and I can't think of a better way to spend a summer holiday than playing Pandemic Legacy Season 1.